right, guys. Canada has done it. They have now put in place or announced retaliatory tariffs that will take effect September 8th. A 50% retaliatory tariff. November 8th, we'll go into what it is about and where we're going and how it'll affect us. But really, all in all, I really, unless it's like a major endpoint that we have, I really don't see this affecting a lot going on here in the US. Um, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But we got this from NBC News. Canada announces retaliatory tariffs against the US, and they added a whole bunch of stuff. We're only going to read that part. But one thing that is interesting, humanoid robot beats Usain Bolt's record. Oh my gosh. And as a Jamaican myself, that's that's sad. That's sad. We had to have, honestly, as a human being, we had to have a robot beat the fastest man on earth. That is sad. I mean, I knew eventually it was going to happen, but not Usain Bolt. It's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Anywho, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, sorry, I don't know why I'm saying Carnegie. Mark Carney called sweep to U.S. tariffs on a wide swath of the country's goods, a miscalculation Saturday morning after trade talks with Canada collapsed late Friday. Carney blamed the breakdown of talks on what he said were the Trump administration's uneconomic and unfair demands. The 50% tariffs affect about $20 billion worth of U.S. imports from Canada, according to the U.S. Trade Representative's office. The import taxes will hit everything from hockey sticks to some building materials, liquors, and certain kinds of clothing, then make them here in the U.S. Problem solved. Carney said Canada was pursuing a focused response with tariffs on the U.S., concentrated in sectors such as steel, dairy, appliances, agricultural equipment, pulp and paper, and electronics. These duties would take effect September 8th, he said. That's a lot of industries you're trying to tariff, my guy. Now, steel, I don't know if that would work. But all the other ones, okay, maybe. I know we got some good appliances from Japan. I don't know what it is about Japan, but Japan is awesome. Japan is quite awesome. Okay, I will say. Anywho, the U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer said Saturday morning in an interview on Fox News, "We don't have new talks planned with the Canadians. We've said enough, and we've taken countermeasures." He also said the U.S. would respond to Canadian retaliation. That's one thing you messed up on. My guy, if you hit us, we hit you back. And sometimes it's 10 times harder. So yeah, that's really all it is so far. Now, me personally, I am a bit concerned about all of these right here. All these industries or sectors that you're going to put a 50% tariff on. But in all honesty, I think it'd be just as to look, these tariffs were initial moves to get the US back into the industrial age. Back into the industrial age. That is from my standing, from my point of view. If you think I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments, all right? Let me know. But from my point of view, from what I know and what I have heard, these tariffs are really just to get manufacturing back into the US, mostly manufacturing from China back down here in the US. So, and I'm all for it. I love to have American made products. Okay? It it's it's rare. It's I'm not gonna say they're rare, but it's far and wide. But I want to see American made products here that are made here in the U.S. I should not be looking at the Bible and see it says made in China. I should not have to look at a world globe, see it, or the American flag and see it say made in China. That's retarded. And no, I'm not sorry about what I just said. It's completely retarded that we have an American flag made in China and not here in the US. Now, I know there are some companies that do make them here in the US, but unfortunately, it's not enough. We need more. So, that is what these tariffs are for. So, businesses, pack up your businesses in those other countries and come back to the United States and work on them here. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. That's all you got to do. All you got to do. I know it's gonna take some time. You gonna have to. I know you're either going to throw that tariff back onto the customer, which not really good idea. I know it's not gonna be hard to absorb the cost of it, but I would say it's better to absorb the cost. Yes, I'm not gonna say 100% of the cost. I know you still have to make money and make the profit margin, make sure the profit margins are there and everything. But I would say make sure everybody gets paid. But I would say at least absorb anywhere between 50 to 80% of the cost. The rest you could haggle and see if the customer can um if the customer can absorb that cost, absorb a certain percentage. But I believe with some transparency and with you know some communication, customers will be fine to do it. That's what I believe. I believe the customers will be fine if they absorb a little bit of the cost. If it means that they are able to if it means that down the line they're able to see some U.S. made products. I hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for that. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And don't forget to excuse me, like and subscribe and share this with everybody that you know. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.